friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kaylin. I'm a PhD student in History and African American Studies at Yale University, and today I'm going to be talking all about my planning system. A couple weeks ago, I filmed a video all about how I use the application Notion in order to keep my life organized, run my business, work on my YouTube channel, as well as keep organized as a doctoral student. I have a lot of things on my plate. I'm juggling a lot of different projects at one time, so having a planning system that makes sure that I am well aware of all of my tasks and all of the client documents that I need to have reviewed, all the videos I need to be filming and editing, and all of the readings that I have for class is just essential. I would not be able to handle everything that is on my plate if I didn't have this system in place. And so I'm going to be taking you guys through each step of the process and how I implement each piece in order to stay sane, organized, productive, and to manage my time. Methods of time management are hugely important to my workflow, and having long and short-term goals is a major theme of this video as well as my others. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. The three platforms that I use are Google Calendar, my Day Designer Physical Planner, and Notion. These three pieces work together in a variety of different ways, so I'm gonna be going through every little step and taking you guys through my process. So to begin, let's talk about Google Calendar. This is where I keep all of my appointments and I time block. This is my way of visually seeing everything that I have going on each day. It lets me know when I have class, when I have appointments, when I need to be filming a video, when I have an accountability workshop, when I have my master classes coming up. And so being able to stay on top of everything by visually being able to see everything that's going on throughout the day is super, super important. Another reason why I use Google Calendar is that I can use it on my phone. For example, if I receive a message from a client asking for a reschedule and I don't have my dashboard open for my website, then I go into my phone, look at Google Calendar, see when I have availability, and then I'm actually able to reschedule using the Squarespace applications. So having this as a tool and using this to visually see everything I've got going on is just essential. And on top of that, I use it to time block. So for example, I'm going to show you guys in my schedule for today. It specifically says that I got up at 7:30 a.m. and I gave myself about an hour and a half to get ready, to get up, walk, move, make breakfast, and kind of settle in for the day. And then I allotted about 45 minutes to prepare and get hair and makeup done in order to film today. Then I filmed for 30 minutes before I had my first consultation. Then I had 3 consultations back to back before heading to the Yale Early American Historians working group, and then immediately going to the class that I audit for my advisor. After that, I actually scheduled a 30-minute nap, so I went ahead and did that and am now filming the video that you're watching right now. Then after this, I'm going to have my 3-hour accountability workshop. The accountability workshops are the perfect time for me and for you to get work done together in a group study environment, and it allows me to work on a variety of different tasks using the Pomodoro method. So I will work for 25 minutes on one assignment, and then I'll take a break for 5 minutes, then move on to the next. This is perfect if I have multiple readings and I need to be able to juggle between things, so that way I'm making subtle progress on everything rather than just focusing on one task for several hours. At 7 p.m., I allotted myself an hour-long break in order to grab dinner, take a little breather, sit down on the couch, and then after that, I allotted 30 minutes to study for the LSAT. I've been trying to input time to study for the LSAT each day between 30 and 60 minutes, so that way I'm slowly making the progress that I need to towards my goal of eventually taking the LSAT and receiving a high score. Then after that, I have to edit YouTube videos, and then if I still have some more time and some more energy, then I'll continue doing my readings this evening. So as you can see, I use Google Calendar in order to have a visual representation of how I manage my time and how I'm blocking everything. This is an incredibly valuable tool for my productivity, and now we're going to move on to talking about how I use my physical planner. I cannot live without my Day Designer planner. I have used these for the last 3 years, and they are just an essential part of my daily routine, and I use the academic year daily planner. What I love about having a physical planner is that although I use Google Calendar in order to time block, I want to be able to see exactly what tasks I need to have completed that day. In addition to that, I will break everything up into certain categories and to be aware of the steps that I need to be taking each day to work towards my long-term goals. At the top left of the day designer, I have the top 3 things that I want to accomplish that day. So for example, I have readings for my African American Studies seminar, and that is my priority for today. Second, my priority is to film for YouTube, and then third is to review client documents. I have the schedule for the day on the left, and then I have all of my to-dos on the right. This is broken up by category, so I have personal, redhead academic related, accepted consulting related, things related to Yale, and then things related to the LSAT. This is where I just brain dump everything that I need to be getting done. And that way, not only do I have a visual representation, but I have physically written it down. And studies show that when you write things down, your actual retention increases. So writing things down on a Post-it note or on a piece of paper or in a planner is super, super important if you want to remember everything that you need to get done, especially if you're juggling a bunch of different tasks, such as a YouTube channel, a doctorate, and a business. So now we're going to talk about how I incorporate Notion. So I'm going to take you guys through my overview page, which you would have seen if you watched that Notion video, but I'm specifically going to be talking about how I use Notion and integrate it with the other tools that I've discussed in this video. So first of all, I have my long-term and my short-term goals at the very top of the page, which for me is incredibly important. This is a way for me to visually see my goals and to have a daily reminder of the things that I'm working towards. So for example, in the short term, I'm trying to work towards a high LSAT score. I'm trying to reach 6,000 subscribers on YouTube, which makes me accountable to the videos that I'm filming each day. I want to pay off my student debt. So I'm thinking about ways that I should be budgeting and paying that down. And I also think about how I want to improve my business and the things that I would like to achieve with Accepted. So for example, making my first hire and making sure that I'm constantly thinking about the process of hiring someone on to my team. And so having those short-term and long-term goals is just an essential piece, and it helps remind me of my purpose and the direction I'm headed. The next piece I have is my goals for the month. So this includes anything such as revenue goals for my business, subscriber goals for YouTube, any other types of goals that I have, as well as little reminders. For example, I wanted to have a journal entry per week, as well as to pre-film for Vlogmas. So these are all things that I want to make sure that I'm aware of and that I'm seeing every day, so that way I can think about how it is that I will incorporate that in my daily routine. Next, I have my goals for this week. So these are the things that I want to be working towards in the short term. Having goals that are long-term and lofty, as well as shorter term goals that you may reach in about a year, as well as monthly goals and weekly goals, helps remind you of where you're headed and why it is that you're doing what you're doing. So these are incredibly important for me, and I highly recommend incorporating them into your routine. After that, I have my personal to-dos. And the reason that this is important is that I have this overall list that I'll write at the beginning of the week and things that I need to be getting done. And then I also have them written down in my physical planner. So if I'm not entirely sure what it is I was supposed to be doing this week, I will look at my personal weekly to-dos and make sure that I'm covering everything as I'm going through the week. After that, I have my redhead academic to-dos, things related to Yale, things related to YouTube. And so again, writing these things at the beginning of the week and having an overall master list of everything that I would like to get accomplished allows me to then apply that to my planner as well as to my calendar. So this way everything is working together, so that way I have a master list on Notion. Google Calendar allows me to time manage and block things out, so that way I am slowly working towards those tasks. And then having my physical planner allows me to write those things down, so I'm able to retain that information. And again, I can visually see what it is I'm accomplishing each day. Then on Notion, I have my assignments. So for example, I have my readings for AFAM. And while I may not have the space to write all of the readings down in my physical planner, having them written down on Notion and then reminding myself that I need to be doing my readings for, say, AFAM 505 allows me, again, the visual and physical reminder that I need to be making progress in these areas. After that, I have my accepted consulting list. So these are client documents that need to be reviewed, people I need to be returning emails to, etc. So when I'm thinking about which documents I need to be reviewing each day, I will look at this master list, which I've compiled at the beginning of the week, and then make sure that I am adding pieces that need to be turned in soon into my planner. And then after that, one thing that has changed since the last time I showed you my Notion overview page is that I have actually added a content planner to my overview page. This allows me to see which videos I need to be filming, and I can start outlining things. This is something I just implemented into my daily plan, and is something that I am already finding to be super useful because it allows me to see which videos I need to be pre-filming as well as how I should plan them. Then I have the priority section, which is important for me to visually see what my various priorities are and where I need to be depositing most of my energy. My main priority is, of course, my doctorate, and so I need to make sure that I'm making daily progress on my readings, thinking about projects that I have coming up, such as publications, grant applications that need to be filled out, etc. So having this visual priority list allows me to think about the long-term and short-term goals, as well as how I should be going about them each and every day. All right, so that was a lot of information. I hope that you gained some insightful tips and how you can implement some of these practices into your own workflow. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you are not yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notification so that you're aware the next time I post. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.